Hello again. Welcome to another edition of the Transfer Talk podcast. We're in central London and we are with the one and only Dimitar Berbatov. Dimitar, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
This is the bit where you can reveal all to us. When you did those interviews post-match and pre-match and you couldn't give much away, this is where you spill the beans.
Okay.
Deal?
Well, we'll see what you're going to ask.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your football career. Now, you started out at your hometown club, Pirin.
Yeah.
Then moved to CSKA Sofia. That's back in 1998. Seems like a long time ago now. When you were younger, when you were growing up, was it always your dream? Was it always in your mind, I want to be a footballer?
Always. Honestly, someone asked me that question the other day when we were talking with friends. And of course, it's a bit of cliche, but it was meant to be in a way because my father was a football player. My mother was a handball player. So in a way, it's like predetermined what was going to be. I would be a sports person in a way. So nobody pushed me. Nobody say, my father, you're going to be a football player, nothing else. No. They let me, myself, to choose. I try athletics from time to time, but in the end, it was like, yeah, football is my thing, and that's what I did.
Transfers work in weird and wonderful ways, and you've been involved in a few, but perhaps the most unique one was when a group of men tried to force a transfer for you. Can you explain what happened there?
Oh, yeah, but this was like not a normal thing back then, but you can almost be like, it happened. A lot of things like that happened back then. So, I was a young boy, 18 or 19 like that, just making first steps into CSKA Sofia. And I was going to buy something to eat from the local shop because I didn't have anything to eat. The training was finished. And then a friend of my father that he used to play with him say, Berbs, there's a man that I want to meet you. So jump in the car, drive you to him. So he drive me there. We go to a restaurant. We go inside and I see a big guy sitting on the table like this and another 4 or 5, I don't remember now, behind him, big guys. And he's like, sit. And he starts to explain how much they like me, this club, and they want to, to take me to play there, give me more money and stuff like this. But through my mind, the only thing I was thinking, oh my God, where I am, and just wanted to call my father. And the good thing is that they allow me to call him. And I was going panicking, I'm here, they just want to go to different place, I don't know what to do. And the good thing was that my father, my manager at the time, they know the owner of my club. The owner of my club know the owner of the other club. So they were big businessmen, so they figured it out between each other. In the end, they let me go to go back. It was not as scary as people think it is, but when you're a young boy, you think different scenarios in your head.
But when you look back on it now, are you surprised you weren't as scared as potentially people might thought you would have been?
No, because when you grow up back home and you're witness to a different situation close to this one, you think they're normal. And you get used to that. You think that's normal things to happen. So you don't think, well, that is not normal. This is not how things should happen. And that's why I was probably a bit calm, a bit nervous, but thinking nothing can happen. This is how they do things. They're balanced. There were balance between afraid and calmness in myself. Of course, because I knew that I can rely on my dad, give him a call, my agent, and stuff like this. But in the end, everything was okay.
Right. When youngsters have dreams of playing football, they obviously have idols.
Yep.
Who was yours?
Well, I already said that to many people, and I will say it again. I had 2. Let's put aside my family, my father and stuff like this. You always look up to your family and your fathers if you're a boy. But if you put aside, Shearer and Van Basten, they were my 2 idols. They are 2 completely different strikers, because Shearer was bullying defenders, going like this all the time, scoring goals with the volleys, with smashing it. And Van Basten was more elegant in a way that he was, dribble past defenders and scoring again unbelievable goals. But probably that's why I liked them, because they had everything, 2 different worlds, and they have everything. When you put it together, you have maybe the complete striker, in my point of view, back then. And I always looked up to them, and it was great to watch them. Back then you have chewing gums with a wrapping inside, and when you open the chewing gum you have pictures of football players. I don't know if you know that back home. And every time, do you know how many chewing gums I buy? Until I get Shearer and Van Basten.
You got them both?
In the end, no, because I tried to swap with different schoolmates. Please give me that, I'll give you 10 or whatever, just to have this and put it on my wall. So I was like a fanatic in a way, following these two players. But never did I try to imitate them in a way. Maybe only in raising my hand, because both of them, when they score a goal, they were raising their hands. And I did try to do that when I was scoring goal, just paying respect to these two great players.
You've obviously met Alan Shearer since.
I did.
Did you explain all of this to him, and what was his reaction?
In a small way, because you know what happens when you meet one of your idols? You look stupid. You just sit and you don't know what to say, because you don't want to embarrass yourself. So you're sitting like, what do I say?
So when was this? When did you meet him?
I met him in Manchester United. I think we did the interview in a way for... I don't know which TV it was, but we did an interview.
So even then, you're now a big-time Manchester United footballer, and you don't know what to say to Alan Shearer.
I didn't know what to say. I was embarrassed. Because I was thinking, be cool, be cool, be cool. And then I'm sure that my face was a bit going red, when you're embarrassed. But he was nice, and I told him that I like him as a player. He was fantastic. I met Van Basten as well, briefly, because he was the national coach when we played Holland. Again, big honor. So it's always strange when you have things like this.
That's incredible. At CSKA Sofia, Dimitar, you're starting to get noticed now. In January 2001, you moved to Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah. Were they your only option at that point? Because I'm guessing if you're performing well, if Leverkusen are looking at you, some other clubs must be as well.
No, there was a funny story before that the Italian team Lecce wanted to sign me. I didn't want to go there. I don't know why. I just didn't feel it was the right thing to do. But in the end, we did go against my will, because it was already negotiated between the teams. But in the last minute, something happened. I was the luckiest boy in the world. We go back. 2 days later, find out Leverkusen want to buy me. And it was like intuition telling me, this is the team. This is the team to do it. And it was so quick, and it happened so fast that, I didn't even have time to think about it as much as I wanted to, but something was telling me this is the right place for you, Berbs. And it was.
I mean, look at the players they had: Michael Ballack, Lucio, Zé Roberto, Olivier Neuville, among others. Were you fully aware of what they were doing?
No, I was again a small boy. Sorry, that it just wanted to play football, and I knew that my future lies outside of my country, as it sounds. Because I wanted to develop, wanted to conquer the world. Everybody have dreams. And when I go to Leverkusen, I didn't know all these players. But when you go, you start to learn. You start to know who Ulf Kirsten is. He was like a god there. Then you start to know who Michael Ballack is, because he was starting to grow. Oliver Neuville, Zé Roberto, Lucio, Juan. Lucio was world champion after that. Juan as well. And then, again, you don't appreciate it when you are in that moment, what kind of player you used to have. Then when you look back and you're like, oh my God, the player that I used to have around me, the coaches, because Bertie Fox was the coach, world champion, I think, Pierre Lidbarski, Tony Schumacher, greatness around you. So you need to pay attention to all this and start learning.
The older you got, did you pay more attention?
I did, because probably this is normal way of life. When you're a young boy, you think you know everything, probably. All of us go through this way. And that's why I was so lucky to go to Germany, to Leverkusen, because this was the school of my life. This is where I became a man. And Germans, they are really strict and follow the way, like, if they know it's going to help them to develop and achieve something, they will follow it, And for me, it was perfect school to grow, to learn German, to be around players like this, and to grow as a man, as a football player.
Let's go back to your first full season with Leverkusen. It was incredible and painful, all in one. You get to the Champions League final, having beaten Manchester United and Liverpool on the way. You lose to Real Madrid, Zinedine Zidane's famous goal. You finish runners-up in the Bundesliga as well. When you reflect now, are your emotions one of pride or frustration, or both?
Both, somewhere in between. because we were underdogs, Leverkusen. And we beat Liverpool. We beat Manchester United. And in the end, we are so close to beating Real Madrid as well. Because we play as how do you say, we play with no fear. We go out where they have Figo, Raul, Roberto Carlos, you know, all these great players, and you look at them. I can talk about me. I will look at them like, oh my God, how can we beat these guys? You know, Fernando Hierro in the back, and I'm a small boy, and I'm like, he looked giant to me, you know. But we did play really well. In the end, it was unfortunate that we lost the Champions League final. That would be unbelievable. But the goal Zidane scored, I was on the pitch and I was right behind him, and I'm looking the ball going like this. And I'm, no, please don't do that. You know, the moment you see him go like this, sometimes you just know that it's going to be in the back of the net. And it was an unbelievable goal. And then second in the German Bundesliga, and then for the cup, we lost the final as well. It was devastating for all of us. It was devastating for all of us because we were going to make history. But it wasn't meant to be in the end. And we deserve at least one of this, at least one.
Just in that run, you're playing, you mentioned the Real Madrid, you mentioned the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United. If you're an ambitious player and an ambitious person then, did that really accentuate that feeling? You're thinking, I'm playing at these stadiums, Anfield, Old Trafford, I'm playing against Real Madrid, this is where I want to be.
So I was 20, 21, something like that. And of course, again, you realize that after, many years after that, but when you're a young boy, you want to play football. So you're not too much into the impression we need to play in a tactical system. I need to do what my coach say. You just go out there, you play. This was in my head. And honestly, you don't pay much attention, because I remember even now I was sitting on the bench in the Champions League final, and I see Real Madrid, I see all these big players, and I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, do I deserve to be here? What did I done to be at this moment? You know, thinking all these philosophical things in my mind before the game starts, and if I can do it all over again, probably change a couple of things. But after the game, you start to realize, well, that was a special moment for us. But we've done everything we could. Honestly, we've done everything we could. We play great football against one of the best teams in the world, best players in the world. And when you be part of this next season, I was like, well, I want more of this. I want more of this. But that wasn't the case back then.
It's 5.5 seasons. I was quite surprised when I saw that stat. That's the longest you've been at any club. Now, in that time, and particularly given that season as well, there must have been interest from some of the biggest clubs. There must have been times where you were tempted, and was there ever any talks? Did you come close to leaving?
Not the first 3 years. Not the first 3 years. So, because I didn't play so much the first year, and then the second one, in the end of the second one, I started to play more regularly, and from the third on, I was, you know, the team was starting with me, if I can say that. And then the interest started after the third. But before that, not much of interest. I was still a young boy, paving my way into the big football. But to be honest, I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking funny things in my head. I wanted to stay in Leverkusen for a long time, even beyond these 5 years, and do what Diego Maradona done for Napoli when he got there, you know, because Leverkusen had never been champions. So I was like, when we missed that Bundesliga title in my first season, I was thinking, I will stay here for a long time and I'll be Maradona of Leverkusen.
That was your motivation.
You know, but when you grow up, you start to be better and better. And then you start here, other teams want you.
So who wanted you?
Well, I think Valencia was showing interest, Bayern Munich was showing interest. My manager was shielding me from time to time from rumors like this, because your head is going to go big. You know, you start thinking, you start losing focus, concentration. So he was trying to shielding me, but at one point then, he needs to tell you what is going on. He said, look, this interest of this team is really serious. They want you, like it was the case with Spurs later on. And then you need to choose what you want to do. Stay here for the rest of your life, be comfortable, or go out of your comfort zone and try to push for something bigger.
We'll come to Spurs in a moment, but before Spurs, you mentioned that period when teams started to get interested. Did you come close to leaving in that period, and
No.
which clubs?
No, to be honest, no. To be honest, no, because this was my thinking back then. Stay here, be Maradona of Leverkusen, help them to win the title, help them to win something. But as I say, when you start to grow, develop more ability, your mind start to open even more, then you're thinking, well, there is more to that. There's other leagues, other teams, other football players. And naturally, when you get better, other teams will come for you.
And Tottenham came calling.
Tottenham
2006, £10.9 million. Looks like a bargain now.
Yeah.
Why Tottenham? What convinced you? Who convinced you?
All my life I'm leading by my intuition. And most of the time, 90% probably, I was always right when I trust my intuition. And they were the most persistent team who came after me. Specifically, Martinho was in charge. So Martinho, speaking with my agent, he also gave me a call. Daniel Levy gave me a call as well. So then you're sitting and like, well, these guys are serious. These guys show me respect, giving me a call. Personal, want me in their team. The coach want me, which was the most important for a football player. So I said to myself, to my agent, to my father, well, maybe this is the team that I need to go. This is my next step. Of course, my decision was barely up to me in the end. So I decided, well, let's go out of that comfort zone now. Is the time.
So you arrive at White Hart Lane, and there's quite a few good strikers there.
You?
Who was your favourite one to play with, and why?
Well, in the beginning, of course, nobody knew me. I had some info about my new teammates when I was preparing to leave Leverkusen. And in the process, you get to know your teammates. And in the end, Robbie Keane, we strike great partnership with him. We are unbelievable. Even if we don't speak much, he knew what I was thinking and the other way around. I knew where he was on the pitch and the other way around. And the most important thing, there was no selfishness. If I see him in a good position, there we go, Kino, you score. And the other way around. And that's why it works so well. Of course, with Jermain Defoe as well, it was great because he knew I can pass him the ball whenever he is in a great position. I will never keep it to myself. And when I get the ball, he starts run. I give it to you. And I had great 2 years with the Spurs team, not only with my strikers, partners, but all the team and all the people there. And that's why in the end, because of that team and the bond we had, I think that's why we won the cup.
Yeah, you won the League Cup there against Chelsea, wasn't it? In 2008. You talk about when Robbie Keane knew exactly what you were going to do and vice versa. Just generally, what did you enjoy more? Did you enjoy the feeling of scoring the goal or making the goal?
To be honest, probably making the goal, as strange as it sounds. I don't know why. I always been like that. I don't think I was typical striker, number 9. I was something else, something in between, because I always loved to drop deep, give me the ball, because I was 2 steps ahead. I know what I'm going to do with the ball. So give me the ball, trust me. I know where my striker partners is or the wings are. I know everyone around the pitch. So give me the ball, I will find them, because this is my strong quality. I always used my strong quality, which was thinking 1-2 steps ahead and give the good pass for my fellow strikers to score. So that's why I think I was something in between, and that's why I love to set up my teammates to score goals. Sometimes it gave me more pleasure, honestly.
Dimitar Berbatov's touch is always a phrase that's used by every pundit when they see you play. How did you get that touch? Are you born with a touch like that, or do you work at a touch like that?
I think you are born with the technique. You can develop it in a way, but if you don't have it in your DNA, I don't think you're going to get it. And my touch, I actually tell to many people, young boys as well, young football players, when I was back home, sun, rain, snow, it doesn't matter. I go outside my apartment building, I had a basketball. I don't know why I had a basketball back home. I didn't have a football. Later on I get a football. So I have a basketball. I get that ball. And basketball is a bit heavier than football ball.
It's going to hurt.
So I don't know why. Nobody tell me that. I take the ball. I throw it. Not high because I was a small boy. I throw it and then I stop it. I throw it and I stop it. I did this every day. When it's cold, you know, your eyes start to, how do you say?
Start watering.
Yeah, start watering. Doesn't matter. Stop. Every day I was doing this. And it starts to get as a habit from an early age. When you grow up, you develop it, you start to implement it in your game, and then the ball is coming from whatever, bam, no problem.
You also developed what some would describe as a languid style, a relaxed style.
Yeah.
Cynics would describe it as a lazy style. When you were described in those ways, did it hurt you? And how would you describe how you played?
Not hurt me, it makes me ask questions like, why these people don't understand that everybody is different and I am playing my own way, and you're gonna see when I stop, you're gonna miss what I was giving you, because again, you cannot compare, everybody is different. So my game was based on this, showing my touch, what I can do, but at the same time thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, which help my teammates to look good. Because if I give them the best ball, they're going to look good, and the team is going to look good. You know? And of course, sometimes you are hurt by comments like this, because we're all humans. You know, everybody feelings. I have feelings, you have, everybody have. But you don't, in the process, you stop listening to this, because you're telling yourself, stay true to what you are, because this is how you succeed. That's how I got to Manchester United. That's how I score the goals I used to score. That's how I get my touch. And if you betray who you are and you try to be someone else, it's not going to be good.
What a first season it was for you at Tottenham, though. You were named the club's player of the season. You were named in the PFA team of the season as well. I'm guessing then, even after one season in the Premier League, other clubs have started to think, okay, this guy can do it, and he can do it in England as well. Who came in for you, if anyone, then?
I think in the end of the first season, and maybe the beginning of the second, there were Manchester United interest.
It emerged then?
Yeah. My agent, I think, was telling me about it. Of course, when a team like that comes after you, your head gets a bit heavy. You start thinking about it. Is it now the right time? Do I want to go now? What happens if they buy someone else and then they don't want me anymore? Normal questions. You start to get angry at yourself, at the team if it's not going to let you go. It's not a good situation. I see it now in different players, but it's a normal situation. So it didn't happen. But it showed me that if I continue in that way, other teams or Manchester United again will come for me, or they're going to wait for me. So I told myself, Berbs, just continue on that road. It's the right road. It's the right road. If you want to develop, if you want to be even better than that. So that's what I did.
So you were patient, and it did pay off. But by the time that United came back in for you after your second season, it appeared Tottenham weren't very happy about how United were conducting themselves. So did that add extra doubt to you that I'm not going to get this move?
First of all, the business between clubs, you know, it's their business. I was staying in the on my side, and you are correct. Different things are going through my mind. Is it going to happen? Are Spurs going to agree with what Manchester United is doing? How they approach the whole thing? Normal question that is flowing through my mind. You know, of course, Spurs didn't want me to go, but I said many times before, everybody is following his own path. Unfortunately, we won the cup. You know that everybody wanted to do, and now was the right time for me to make my next step in my development. Of course, again, I can choose to stay in my comfortable zone or try the next big challenge for me, which was probably going to be my last. You know, because football players have this much of a career. If you're lucky after 32 or 3, great. If not, then. And I was not concentrated. I was thinking about my next move, and it's going to affect your teammates, it's going to affect your performance, your coach, everything in the club. And again, normal situation, but we did try to resolve it as soon as possible. It didn't take, it didn't happen quick. It happened in the last minute, but it is what it was.
At the time, Dimitar, there was plenty of talk that you were refusing to play for Tottenham. Mm-hmm. Can you clear that up now? Did you refuse to play for Tottenham? What was your relationship like with the chairman at the time? Did you say, I'm not playing because you're not letting me move?
I had a great relationship, and I understand completely Daniel Levy in that position, because he's defending, he's fighting for his club. And I have no problem with this. It's all business. It's all business-wise, and you take as much money as you can from deals like this. This is normal in football. But in that moment, I was not concentrated. So I was telling my coach, the director of football back then, Damien Comolli, I was telling him, listen guys, I'm not concentrated enough. If I'm on the pitch, I will be bad influence, because I'm thinking, unfortunately, about other things. Manchester United, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? So I think I'm not going to be a help of anyone. So it's better maybe if I don't play, because I was going to be in bad shape. And I can see it in some players now. When you put rumors in their head or facts or something that is going to happen, and they cannot concentrate and do their job properly.
What was the reaction, though, of your teammates? Because you were effectively saying, I don't think I should play. Your coach, you've told the coach that. What's the reaction of your teammates, the fans towards you, your coach towards you? Because the coach has to front up to the media and say, why isn't Dimitar Berbatov playing?
You go out and say, well, he's not in the right frame of mind. He's not going to be good influence on the team. So we decided that he's not going to play. I think it's simple as that. It is the truth. You tell the truth. You don't lie. And this is normal situation in football. That's why the transfer window should be closed before the game starts. This is very important, and it's a thing that they need to done back then as well. But that was the situation, and my teammates, I think they were okay, because in the end, they put themselves in my shoes. Every football player can at some point be in the position I was. And you think, well, what if it happens to me, what do I do? If Barcelona come for me, or Inter Milan, or Bayern Munich, like that, and I'm in the same situation as Berba is, what do I do? Probably I do the same. Because we're all humans. You start thinking different things, you go on the pitch, and you're a shadow of what you can do.
What was the one thing that Sir Alex Ferguson said to you to convince you to join, or did you not need convincing?
Well, honestly, you don't need convincing back then, because it is Manchester United. So you see the history, you see the players, of course the manager, you see the current players that were playing in the team, and you're like, well, who doesn't want to be part of that? I mean, who doesn't? And I was like, is that real? Honestly, is that real? I was telling my manager, is that real? Because one of the things sometimes I underestimate myself, and I'm like, do I deserve to go there? I was sabotaging myself in a way, because that's how we are. Bad thinking is more than good thinking in our head. So in the end, I was like, well, probably I deserve it in a way. I was performing with Spurs. So yeah, it was a moment that I need to make that final step in my development.
You said it happened very, very late. On Sky Sports News, there's an iconic picture on deadline day. Yourself and Sir Alex Ferguson walking down the corridor at Old Trafford. I'm sure you've seen that. Can you tell us about your memories of not just that moment, but that day itself, when you met Ferguson and what happened?
Well, I told you about meeting now and Shearer, so it's the same. You're sitting there, what do I say, what do I say? The same situation all over again. Deja vu, what do I say? Do I look cool? Like I was 13 years old boy. I mean, it was embarrassing. But it was okay in the end, because Sir Alex knows how to break the ice, start the conversation, calm you down a little bit. But I was nervous because nothing was happening, and it was coming down to the last minute of the transfer window. So it was something new to me, and I was inside, I was going crazy. Outside, I was trying to stay cool as much as possible. And when you're close to to a dream move like that, of course you're going to be nervous. Of course you're going to be asking 100 million questions to my agent, to everybody who was involved in this. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And yeah, I saw that image you was telling me about, and we all were nervous back then, but in the end it finished in a way that everybody was happy, I think.
Yeah, so that's the public image we saw. What about during the day? Because we didn't get any pictures of you when you arrived at Old Trafford. Did Fergie smuggle you in?
Yeah, he was waiting for us in the airport actually, and I was surprised by that. I was starstruck. How do you say it?
Yeah, starstruck.
Starstruck. What? I mean, it was, again, didn't expect that. And he drove us to the stadium, to the exam. You know how this medical exam. And then all this paper you need to sign, and all the waiting and negotiating going on. But I think I used to that. In the process, I get used to that because in England people love a bit of drama. That's for sure, especially in this kind of drama transfer window. Who is going, who is staying, how much is paying, and stuff like this. But from the player point of view, I'm telling you, it's not good, because you're wasting so much energy, so much stress, thinking about it's going to happen, is not, and then in the end, you're dead.
So if you're thinking, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? You've obviously still got doubts, even though you've arrived at the club. Is Sir Alex Ferguson reassuring you, don't worry, Dimitar, we're going to buy you?
Well, everything, everyone, him, David Gill was there, the lawyers, and everyone was optimistic that it's going to happen, but they're not going to tell you it's not going to happen, of course. They are reassuring themselves as well. When you say it like that, maybe you calm yourself down a little bit. But that's what businessmen do. That's what it is when you want to take big money for your asset, for your player, in this case me, and I completely understand that now, after you look at from way when I am now, but back then he was nervous. He was nervous because you can hear how David Gill was talking with Daniel Levy and go forward and backwards, and you're just hoping that it's going to happen.
Almost immediately the comparison is Dimitar Berbatov is the new Eric Cantona. Just by your reaction, you didn't like that comparison.
I said that back then. I mean, this is, I promise I'm not going to swear here, so I'm not going to say anything, but it's ridiculous. I mean, everybody is different. I have my own style. Everybody someone else have their own style. So for me, nobody should be compared to someone else. Everybody is different. There is no new Messi, there's no new Ronaldo. It's me, it was me. And I have my own way of playing football, so these kind of things I never liked.
You said before that when you got older, you started to appreciate the players that you were playing with. So now you're walking into the Manchester United dressing room and you see superstar after superstar after superstar. Even at your age, because you were at a good age when you arrived at United, you weren't a young boy anymore. Were you daunted even then when you walked in?
I was, actually. I was. You know. Maybe this was one of the things I would change if I can do it again. Just go and be a bit more like open. Yeah. You know, like I'm walking in my home, because I was just seeing all these players and I'm like, well, champions of England, Europe. They just won the Champions League. Like, unbelievable. Although I knew and I told myself, perhaps you deserve this because you're developing, you were patient, and now you're here. I was again a bit like, whoa, you know, starstruck again.
Was there any one particular player that, of all of them, you thought?
No, all of them, because they all deserve that respect for the things they've done in life. And of course, Ryan Giggs and Scholes and Gary Neville, their academy, going through all these levels and achieve all that success, and they deserve that automatic respect that you give to football players. And that was the thing that, if I can change something, that maybe I go in and be more open and like, hey guys, you know, times like this. But I was a bit more closed. But everyone was fine. Actually, before I go to my first training, the day of the transfer window, late at night when everything was finished, and I was lying dead on my bed, like, but happy. I cannot show any emotion. I received messages from Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Michael Carrick. Wow. Don't know how they get my number, but like, Berbs, welcome to the club, good luck. You know, and it shows you what winners do. They make you feel like a winner.
Interesting, very interesting. So you look around the dressing room and you've always said that the driving force behind your character and wanting to play football is just the love of football. You're going into a dressing room now and Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney and Carlos Tevez, they're your competition.
Yeah.
Are you worried about whether you're going to play?
So all this emotion, like worriness, happiness, wanted to prove that you deserve to be there, and that competition is a good thing. You cannot be afraid of that. It's a good thing because it keeps you on your toe. You don't relax. Just every training session you want to show how good you are. Hope your manager is going to pick you to play. So these players, even if I'm older than some of them, you can still learn from them because it's a world-class players. So every day was a training session and a training lessons when you watch these players train, all of them. And even if I didn't show any emotions, I was dancing inside myself, honestly, because I was 27, I think, at that point, 28 maybe. And now, late, when you develop as a man, now your thinking is changed, and now you start to appreciate, wait a minute, stop. You in Manchester United, okay? Now start to appreciate where you are, because this is going to be gone like that. And I was appreciate every moment of it, even the losses, even the injuries, even when I didn't score, whatever. I was in Manchester United.
You mentioned when you were at Tottenham, Robbie Keane, you're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Could you say anything like that about any of the United forwards?
Wayne Rooney, for sure, he was close to Robbie Keane in the way that he wanted the team and everyone else to perform better. So he was not selfish at all, playing the ball when everybody is free, welcoming the other players, the new players in the team, because he was cracking jokes and, you know, making everybody welcome. But Waza was like that, you know, and I enjoyed playing with him. But when you're a striker, you want to be selfish, you know. Some players are more selfish than the other. And sometimes in my career, I was thinking, be a bit more selfish from time to time, so you can how do you say, stand up from the crowd, you know, be seen, not only trying to pass to the other. But maybe you cannot escape your nature. I don't know, maybe you cannot escape your nature. And that's why that assist I gave to Ronaldo, probably I enjoyed it more than every goal I score.
Wow.
I don't know why. Because I know that I've done the difficult part. And then I'm like, every goal, my friend, score.
That season ended with United being champions. You won the League Cup the following season. September 2010, Old Trafford, you beat Liverpool by 3-2. When you look back on your career now, you talk about that Ronaldo assist, but where does this hat-trick rank in your career?
It is up there. It is up there, top places. And I think most fans will probably be top one for them, because they're still telling me about it and talking about it. And it was a great game for me and for the team. Good thing that we won. Good thing that we won, because if it was a draw, then it was gonna, you know, it's not gonna be as heavy as it is when you win. And for me, honestly, the third goal was the best one, because we won the game with that one.
Not the overhead kick?
But no, because if it stay like this, it's going to be 2-2. Perhaps you score an overhead kick, but you didn't win. But then, bam, with the head, 3-2, and that was the moment that it was like, honestly, if someone didn't like me before, they was like, what the, you know.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, guys, this is how I see football. You have a striker goal with a head. You have something magical that not everyone can do. But this is how I see football, and that because I play football that's way, this is my reward. So I can score goals like this, you know. And I was so happy after that game. But again, you know, funny story, because I go home, I'm dancing inside myself, you know, so happy. Go home, and my girlfriend is like, "Go take out the trash right now." You know, I just had my baby and everything. It's like, "Shh, go take the trash." And I'm like, well, okay, you know. So you, at the same time, you find that balance, that someone is keeping you on the ground, you know. And I'm taking the trash, and I'm still thinking about the game, and still dancing, you know, still happy.
Do an overhead kick at the dustbin bag into the bin, yeah?
But imagine it, because this was a great day for me. Of course, it was a great day, special day for me. And I will never forget that. I will never forget against Liverpool. I mean, it was unbelievable.
All went well that season, seemingly. Premier League title again, a share of the Premier League Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Then you have that bombshell when you're left out of the Champions League final squad. What did Sir Alex Ferguson say to you, and how did you react to that?
Well, he told me the same thing that I think he told the media after that, that he pulled me aside and said, Berbs, it's difficult, it's killing me, but you know, I need to leave you out from the squad. And that was, of course I was disappointed, you know, I didn't know what to say, you know, like, you basically you didn't know what, you don't know what to say. You don't know because you don't expect it. I was the goal scorer of my team, of the Premier League, and I was feeling so confident because, I don't know, I was feeling confident. I was thinking that if I kick it from the halfway line, I can score. That how confident I was. And then your manager is telling you it's not going to pick you, and then you're like, bombshell, bam. I was like, so disappointed, and I see how difficult it was for him telling me that. But at the same time, I was like, boss, I don't deserve that. I mean, I don't deserve that. But it is what it is. It just stay like that. And I don't think I was going to make any change in the game because Barcelona was unbelievable back then. Of course, if you ask my dad or my friends, they're going to say, well, of course he was going to make a change. He was going to score 3 goals, you're going to win. But they were so good that even if I was on the pitch, maybe we're gonna lose. But we don't know now. Did
your relationship change with Sir Alex Ferguson after that moment?
Not change, because I was disappointed, of course, like not only me, but I think John O'Shea was left out of the team. I saw him after that. We were together in that. I can see how disappointed he was. And someone will be disappointed, some players. You cannot put everyone. It didn't change, but he can see that I was disappointed and angry after that. The same thing happened to Jisung Park, I think, the 2008, if I'm not mistaken. So you know how difficult it can be to take that decision. And I was thinking it 1 week after that still. But in the end, after a while, you know, Sir Alex said that it was the wrong decision. So it's good to know that you can admit a mistake that you made. But again, probably even if I was in the game, I'm not going to make a change.
But if it was lingering with you after the final and it's going into the summer then, is any part of you thinking, maybe my future's away from Manchester United?
I was thinking that as a normal thing, because you're like, what will happen now? Do I stay? Do I go away? And we had conversation with my agent, but in the end I was like, well, I'm not going to give up. This is Manchester United. I love the club. I want to stay and I want to fight, and I'll train as I've done in the past, and I'll do as much as I can, and in the end it's up to manager to decide if he can play me. And I decide that, and I stay. I just wanted to fight and train as the way I can, and then go out and play when I give the chance.
Were there offers on the table?
No, to be honest, no. And even if there are any offers, maybe I was thinking about it for 2-3 minutes, and then I'll take the same decision.
In what turned out to be your final season at United, you didn't play as regularly as you'd have wanted to. Did the manager explain to you why?
He told me. He told me before the season started. He told me, I think we were going out of something was happening in Old Trafford. Then everybody was leaving to get into the cars, and he came after me and it's like, Berbs, what's up? You okay? And I'm okay. He's like, I cannot promise you that you can, start every game this season. Just wanted to tell you that. And I said, boss, no problem. I appreciate the honesty. I try as every time I've done, and when you decide I deserve to play, I play. And I think I did well, though. Score goals every time I played.
So, was there any? Because there were rumours of a damaged relationship between the two of you. Was that the case? Was there anything that needed repairing, or were you always okay?
No, there was no damage. You can see clearly when someone is disappointed. And you can have a sympathy towards that. And I'm sure that Sir Alex saw how disappointed I was with that decision. At the same time, I need to admit that I saw how difficult it is for him to make that decision. And maybe some way in the future, down the line, I'll be a manager. I'll do the same to someone else, for sure. So I try now, from that perspective, to understand everything that a manager do or have done. So there was no damage in my point.
You met him in December, didn't you?
Every time, last time I was here, we met again, and it is what it is. As I said, I would like, if we go back in time, to play in that game and face Barca and all these stars. They were unbelievable back then, and how do you say, try myself against them to see if they can handle me and I can handle them, but maybe in some other life.
When you did eventually leave United, it was summer of 2012. There were clubs aside of where you ended up, which was full of Fiorentina, Juventus.
He did.
Why Fulham, and how did that come about?
Martinho, that's why. He was my coach in Spurs. So when he calls me, he's like, Berbs, you gonna play with me? You know? He speaks like that. And I don't know, I just love him. I just love him. I know we have special relationship. I know that he is the guy that's going to be behind me. He's going to start the team with me. And at that point, I needed that as a striker. We strikers are a different breed. You want to be cuddle. You want to be, gentle with us. Assure us that we are the star man. So to give us confidence that you want me. You want me in your team. And with him, even if he didn't tell me, I know that. I will be the first choice.
So Martinho has always been that guy who, when you've played under him, you've thought...
I knew he trusts me, and that's why I will give my life for him on the pitch. It's not going to be like, he trusts me, I can do whatever I want. No, just the other way around. For him, you go out there, Berbs. I was telling myself before the game, and I'm not going to swear, you play as you never play in your life. Of course, it's not happening every time, but most of the time it did. So here was the reason, although I have good offers from Italy, as you said, but at that point of my life, I was 32 or 1, something like that. I was like, my kids are here, my family, we love England, people respect me, I like the English league. Is it time to move now, start over again? The coaches from the other team not promising me to play, and I needed to play. I needed to build my confidence a little bit again. And I knew this was the guy to give it to me.
Could you have gone back to Tottenham?
There was a small possibility, but it happens again, last minute. Something was happening again. And of course, it was not a surprise to me, but I was like, told Martin that I will come to play for you, so I cannot betray him in that way. So I stayed there, and it was a great first season for me. I scored 15 goals. I was enjoying. Honestly, I was enjoying myself.
Now that you've retired, Dimitar, what does the future hold for you? Do you want to get into coaching, into management?
Well, I finished my coaching badges A license. I will take my pro license as well. I'm not saying I'm going to be a manager, but I'll be ready, because down the line you never know. I'll be prepared for that. I have my degree in sports management as well. I can be a director of football. So different options for me. But I need to know that I am ready for one of these responsibilities. You're not going to be ready 100% because nobody is. Some things you learn on the go. But when the moment is right, maybe I'll try some of this.
Final question. When you look back, any regrets?
Maybe there are some. But they're just small percentage of what I achieved because I come from a small town, from a small country, work my way up in the ladder, and reach probably the most famous and big club in the world. I started from Bulgaria. And I scored so many goals, Premier League champions, Premier League goal scorer, played with giants, against giants. I think I achieved even more than I imagined.
Dimitar Berbatov, pleasure.
Thank you.